Tutorial for Nocode HQ, and today we'll be building a feedback bot using Landbot. So basically you can collect feedback about your product, your startup, or anything else. We will embed this feedback bot into a card landing page, and all the feedback that is generated will be sent to an Airtable base that we will create as well, where you can then see all the reviews and product feedback that was created, and also see emails where you can follow up and basically manage all these reviews. So what you will need for that, you will need a Landbot account, an Airtable account, and a card account, and you can create accounts of all of these services for free and start creating the first versions of your app or bot or table for free. And after you sign up for all of these services, we want to start off by going to Landbot, and we can start building a new chatbot, and we can start from scratch. But actually for this tutorial, I'm going to choose a template. This is going to make things a lot easier, and Landbot has quite a few nice templates. And we're going to use the, let me find it, here, the customer feedback template. So I'm going to click on use this, and we will be brought into our Landbot editor. And might seem, if you use Landbot now for the first time, might seem a bit overwhelming, but actually it's quite simple. It's a very intuitive drag and drop editor where we have basically our flow of the bot on the right side here, and we have our elements on the left side. Let's actually rename our bot first of all. So I'm going to call it product feedback, or let's say it's startup feedback. Okay, so as you can see, because we chose a template, all of this is already pre-populated. So I'm just going to go through these blocks with you. So we have our welcome block here, where the bot says, "Hi there, thanks for shopping, blah blah blah." And there are two buttons, or basically just one button. Let's share some feedback, okay? And when the user clicks that, he'll be brought to this message where the bot will say, "How would you rate your online store?" and so on and so forth. And you will be brought to various rating sections with different buttons, some message, and so on and so forth. And this tutorial should not be focused on actually building a bot within Landbot, but actually on the connecting part. So we're actually just going to fill in basically, or replace the information that is in the template with whatever your startup wants to collect. So I'm not going to use any of these blocks except one block at the end, or features, but we're just going to start editing. So the bot should say, "Hi there, thanks for shopping with," let's say it's going to say with Nocode HQ, so you can just change the text like this. "We'd love to know a bit more about your experience with us," and then the button can say, "Let's go." Okay, if a user clicks that, you can connect it to where it should go, and in this case to this message. How would you rate, let's say, how would you rate your experience with Nocode HQ, like this. And then we have a series of questions, and these questions basically, they're individual buttons here, and we can define what these should be. So first of all, the question text, in this case we want to ask, how was your overall experience? Okay, like this. We want to save the answer to a variable. There was already a variable created, which is the Zing site, probably a mistake, I think, but we're going to call it overall feedback, and this is just going to be a variable which is a text. Okay. After the user clicks a button, you could, just as a side note, you could define individual flows. For example, if a user clicks he's angry or he's not happy, a user should be brought to a different flow. You can just connect it then. And maybe the bot can then say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, you're unhappy, blah, blah, blah." And he could basically create custom response according to what the user answers. But if you want to have a default response, so whatever the user clicks here, which button, he should be brought on to the next block, basically. So we'll just connect the default to this block, so like this. Let's say the next question is, we can leave that actually the range of products. We're going to rename that variable again, product range. Okay, create. And as you can see, we have the different structures here. So 10 basically different options we have for the rating block. We could have a 3-star system, okay? We could have a 5-star, a 10-star, or emoji system. So if I change to 10-star, for example, save that, user will have the ability to choose from 10 stars range, but I'm going to choose 5 again. So let's click save. Again, next question will be asked, how do you rate the quality of our Nocode products? Let's say this is quality, and again we're going to use the 5-star rating, and let's actually remove the last block. We don't need that, so I'm just going to remove this and connect this to the next block. So just to recap, when a user starts interacting with the bot, he will be shown a welcome message, and 3 questions will be asked, and each question will ask the user of various aspects of the product, and will collect feedback and save it to a variable. Actually, we wanted to change that here. The range of products. What is this? How do you rate the quality? Again, how was your overall experience with Nocode HQ? Like this, okay? And we wanted to save that to overall feedback. I forgot to click save, I think. Okay, after the user is asked these 3 questions, we want to bring him back to another message where the bot says, awesome, thanks, a few more questions, and we're done. Okay, and then he should be brought back maybe to another rating question. And let's actually move all these blocks. I don't want to, it's going to be the same, basically same thing over and over again. I'm just going to delete all these blocks. Okay, and let's connect the messages block to this block here, the question scale. And the question is going to say, overall, would you recommend Nocode 8, or let's say overall, on a scale from 1 to 10, comma, would you recommend Nocode HQ to your friends, for example? Okay, and this is going to be a scale, as you can see, from 1 to 10. Okay, we could have the left label would be not at all, so that would be the worst case, and the right label would be 100%. You can change it to I love Nocode HQ, like this maybe, and you can basically have a nice 1 to 10 rating scale from your users to collect feedback. I'm just going to rename that again, create a new variable, and say recommend scale. Okay, like this, and let's create that. Awesome. So let's go now to the next part, which is question. Let's save that also. Next is a question: do you have any suggestions for us? This is basically just a question, and whatever the user types, so he can type something, is stored as a text. Okay. We can either leave that in or have that empty, but I'm just going to leave that for now. Afterwards, the next question is: finally, would you like 15% off your next? Okay. We don't want that. We want the user to ask, okay, thank you for your time. Would you mind entering your email so that we can follow up in case we have any further questions? Like this. Let's save that. The variable is already email, and I'm going to save that. And we can remove this. This is just going to send the email. We don't want that. Let's remove that. And the last step is just going to be, this is going to be connected to a nice GIF that would be sent, and basically will make the whole thing a bit funnier and nicer. Increase the UX. You could change the GIF by just clicking here and choosing a GIF, and or maybe thank you. You can choose through Giphy. And we can use maybe this. Okay, great. So that's basically it regarding our Landbot bot. Let's click on save. I'm going to click on preview, and the preview view should open. And it says, hi there, thanks for shopping with Nocode HQ. Would love to know a bit more about your experience for us. Let's click let's go. Okay. The bot will say, how would you rate experience? Quite a nice rating field here. So let's say it was awesome. The range of products, also awesome. How do you rate the quality? Also awesome. And awesome, thanks. A few more questions and we're done. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you recommend Nocode HQ to your friends? And you can see we have a scale from 1 to 10. The text, I love Nocode HQ, and also not at all, so let's say 8. And now do you have any suggestions for us? Maybe you can type something, more products, okay? And okay, thank you for your time. Would you mind entering your email so that we can follow up in case we have any further questions? So the user can enter his email. And the GIF is sent. So our bot looks quite nice, has a nice flow in my opinion, and a nice UX. So let's close the preview. And we're done basically creating the bot. And the last thing we want to do now, so we want to send whatever information was collected, we want to send that to Zapier. So let's choose the Zapier integration. Let's just drag that here, or select that, okay? I'm going to drag that here. I'm going to connect the last, basically the last block to the Zapier field. And what we want to do, we want to add a new, create an Airtable record from new Landbot responses, okay? But before we're going to set up the Zap, sorry, we have to first create our Airtable base. So I'm going to go back to Airtable now, and this is going to be quite simple. I'm going to go back to Airtable, and you want to click on Add a New Base. I want to start from scratch. Actually, I'm just going to call it Product Feedback, okay? And I'm just going to go into the space, and what you want to do, I'm just going to call that feedback, okay? And we want to insert all the fields that we collect here into our Airtable base. And what is also important, the data type basically has to be the same. So if we collect a string or a text, this has to be the same in Airtable, and same applies for integers. So if we just go here we're collecting, as you can see, a string, and that's the overall feedback. So let's just create that here, and this is going to be overall feedback, okay? And it's a text. Let's save that. Let's go back. Here we're collecting the product range. So again, string. Let's go back, create this here. I'm going to call this product range. This is going to be a single line text, save. Again, next field is going to be the quality, which is also a string. So I'm going to call this quality, which is a single line text, save. Let's go back again. We then have our scale, which collects an integer, so a number. Okay, so that's the scale. I'm going to add a new field. This is going to be scale, and this is going to be number. Okay, and it can be an integer, and save. Okay, and the last thing is, or actually one more thing, is going to be suggestions. So that's a string as well. We just check that. Let's go back. Suggestions, single line text, and the last thing is going to be an email, and this is of course also a string. So we're going to add the email text field, which is a string. Okay, so that's it regarding our Airtable base. Actually, of course, you could modify now a bit more and modify the design, but we're actually just going to connect that now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to Landbot, and under my Zapier integration, I'm going to click on the use the Zap button here, and Zapier will open. Of course, you will need a Zapier account as well to connect all of this. So I connected I connected Landbot and Airtable already, and you can then select your Landbot account. So I'm going to choose this, which is going to be our trigger. Let's click continue. We can customize our block, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose my bot. So in this case, it's going to be, how do we call it? We called it, let me just check, customer feedback. So it's going to be the customer feedback block, bot, okay? And the block is going to be, let's actually check that. No, we don't need that. Let's click continue. Let's test and review this. And we pulled in some sample data. And as you can see, it looks correct. There's a lot of data we can collect, but we have the quality, the overall feedback, which is this. We have the product range, which is this, and a few more other things. For example, suggestions is more products, recommended scale is 8, and so on and so forth. So all the information was correctly fetched, the email as well. So let's continue, click done editing. And what we want to do next, so when a Zapier block is activated in Landbot, okay, so when a new product feedback block is collected, we want to create a record in Airtable. So click on that. choose app Airtable, want to create a new record, not update a record. Let's click continue. Again, you have to connect and choose your Airtable account. So I'm going to choose my Airtable account, click continue. You have to choose your base. In this case, we're going to choose the product feedback base, which we just created. And the table is just going to be the only table we have, which is feedback. Okay, let's continue. And you can now basically have the ability to assign all the fields we collect in our bot to the individual fields in our Airtable base. So the overall feedback should be from the Zapier block activated field. Let's find that, the overall feedback, which was here. So custom fields overall feedback type and the custom fields overall feedback value. That's what we want to collect. Okay. The product range, again, we have to scroll down. We had the overall feedback, product range, value. Okay. Quality, again, let me scroll down. We have the custom fields quality type and the custom fields quality value. That's what we want to collect. For the scale, again, go down. And under scale, we collect the value, which is a number. So this one, suggestions, is going to be here, custom field suggestions value, and the email is just going to be here, the email, which is at the top. And that's basically, let's click continue. And let's test and continue. Okay. Your Zap is ready. Let's turn it on and try it out. So let's turn that Zap on. Okay. And actually, let's go to our Airtable base now. And as you can see, we have our first feedback collected here. So we have overall feedback, which is this, product range, quality, a scale, suggestions, and email. So that worked perfectly fine. I'm just going to delete these records here. We don't need that. So yeah, that worked. The connection works. If we now save our bot and the user would now enter new feedback, Zapier would automatically send the feedback we collect to our Airtable base, which is really great. And the last thing we can now do, we can just basically embed our Landbot app within a cart page, or you could use any other website builder or other landing page generator, but I'm going to use cart, which is going to be the easiest. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to cart. I'm going to start a blank website and just delete this text here, modify this container, so let's make that full width and also position it at the top. Okay, let's click done. And let's go to Landbot again. You can modify design if you want. So maybe choose the logo and avatar. So you could choose something else. The header text. My startup, for example. Okay, you can apply that. Some colors if you want to change that. I'm just going to leave it as it is right now. But you have lots of possibilities to modify your design. So you also choose templates, and let's also choose another avatar maybe. You can use a GIF as an avatar as well, which is quite funny. So this is going to be the avatar now. Let's apply that. And yeah, let's save that. Let's go to settings. Again, you can give the whole bot a name and modify some fields. And let's share our bot now. And basically you have various methods of sharing your bot. You can have a live chat or a pop-up, which are less intrusive methods. A full page, which is basically really a full-blown HTML page, or embed, which is in my case quite a nice option. You can define the height yourselves, and you just copy this text or this code, sorry, and go to cart now. I'm going to insert a new element, which is going to be embed code. I'm just going to insert that code here. Let's click done. Okay, and let's actually publish this page now. So collect feedback. Description is going to be the same. Use a cart co URL. I'm going to use Nocode HQ feedback. Okay, and let's publish this website and check if it works. So publish. And let's view this site. Okay, awesome. So as you can see, we're on our cart page right now, and our bot is fully integrated and embedded into this cart page, which is really nice, and it's a great way. And before I'm going to test the bot again, let me just add a few more fields. So I'm going to go back to the cart page. Let's also change the background color a bit. I'm going to add a text at the top, maybe like this. I'm going to say please enter, please give us your feedback for Nocode HQ using the bot below. And of course you can add whatever you like. I'm just gonna make it a bit bigger. Okay, and you can also add like links maybe, or icons. I mean, you could add an icon if you want. Just put that here, and have links, and also add a text, whatever you want, just to make your page, populate your page with more information, add an image, buttons, and so on. But we're just gonna leave it as it is right now. Let's just publish that quickly. Again, let's go to our page, refresh that, and we have a bit nicer structure now. Again, this header maybe, let's actually remove this header. I think that will look even cleaner. So I'm going to go to Landbot now under Design again, Logo and Avatar. Let's actually, I think there's a place where we can remove the header. Here, header, we can hide it. Let's apply it, save, and refresh our cart page. And now it looks even cleaner. So that's really nice now. Again, you could change the background color. We can, for example, also, if we go to color, the background just hide. So now it's completely, basically not visible. And now it will look basically really native. So if you look, great, we have just our title here, and our bot looks like it is integrated into cart, which is a really nice experience and great UI. So let's actually go through our bot now. So I'm on the cart page, and it says, hi there, thanks for shopping with Nocode HQ. Let's click Let's Go. So we have our nice animated GIF here. How would you rate your experience? So let's say it was a 3 this time. And the range of products was a 2. The quality was a 5. And a few more questions, we're done. A scale, let's say 10 this time. Do you have any suggestions for us? Better tutorials. And again, the email to follow up. And the GIF is sent, thank you. And that's basically it. We have our bot, we have our cart page, and everything seems to work quite nicely. If we go to our Airtable base now, and as you can see, awesome, we have our second entry into our Airtable base. So this time the overall feedback was this: product range, quality, and scale, suggestions, and the email, which is the same again. And yeah, it worked perfectly fine. We basically connected our bot to our Airtable base using Zapier, and therefore created a nice way to collect feedback for our product using 4 no-code tools actually, and not having to write a single line of code. You could also basically structure the view of your Airtable base. So if you also want to maybe, let's say, add a new field, and let's say it's the status, and the status can be single select. So we have options. So new, scene, follow up. So let's say you have employees which have access to the space, and you want to basically manage how they or how the how you manage these feedbacks. And let's say the status is new here, and the status is new as well. And you can now also create a Kanban view and use the status grouping field. And so now you have a nicer way, so users or your employees can look, okay, we have new feedback, let's look at it, okay, and so on. And if they want, okay, we saw that, and maybe, okay, why was this person unhappy? Let's follow up, and someone can send an email to this user. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this no-code tutorial. We combined 4 different no-code tools to create our own feedback bot, which is embedded into a cart page, connected to Airtable using Zapier. So yeah, I hope you learned something, and I'm going to see you guys for the next tutorial with Nocode HQ. Bye.